Respected dignitaries on and off the days, we welcome you all on the occasion of the Engineers Day and the inauguration of a third day of a 3-day national workshop on intellectual property rights, supported by CIPAM, Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India. It is being organized by Research and Consultancy Cell at MIT ADT University, Pune, in association with AIC MIT ADT Incubator Forum, Pune. So I would like to welcome all the dignitaries here on the dais. Let's welcome them with a huge round of applause once again. Ladies and gentlemen, we always begin our programs with the World Peace Prayer, and hence I would like to request you all to rise in your seats in the honor of the World Peace Prayer.
वेद प्रतिपाद्या जय जय स्वसंवेद्या आत्मरूपा देवा तूची गणेशु सकलार्थमति प्रकाशु म्हणे निवृत्तिदासु अवधारी गोदी गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परब्रह्मा तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः। पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।
To brief us more about this program, I would like to call upon Mr. Suraj Bhoyar, the University Manager and the convener of this program, to address the gathering.
Good morning to one and all. Very happy Engineers Day to everyone. On behalf of Research and Consultancy Cell, MIT ADT University, I extend warm welcome to all of you. And first of all, let me thank Dr. Gokhale sir, Professor Dr. Mangesh Karad sir, Dr. Sunil Rai sir, Dr. Kishore Rawande sir, Dr. Mohit Dubey sir, Dr. Vasant Pawar sir, Shiv Sharan Madi ji, and Dr. Kaple sir. And team from Cell for IPR Promotion and Management, DPIIT, Ministry of Commerce and Industries, New Delhi. This national workshop on IPR is being organized for spearheading the IP movement for our key stakeholders. And this is the better place because MIT ADT University is the place where innovation and creativity coexist. The workshop will definitely provide valuable insights for creation and protection of IPs through well thought of and planned deliberations from the leading practicing firms in IP. We will be soon establishing IP facilitation cell for our students and faculty members who are directly or indirectly involved in the process of innovation. The workshop is intended to cover various aspects like patents, copyrights, trademarks, geographical indications, and most importantly, to sensitize the participant to contribute towards the economy. The workshop is the endeavor in spreading the IP awareness, and it will encourage the students to understand the importance of startups. Thus, directly their focus towards entrepreneurship. And I feel proud to let you know that we are the first state private university to receive funding from NITI Aayog to establish Atal Incubation Center under Atal Innovation Mission. An active collaboration between student and the university leads to the growth, development, and healthy commercialization of invention conceived in the campus. As rightly said, everything begins with an idea. So this workshop has been organized by taking continuous follow-up with Ministry of Commerce and Industries, and we have received enormous response for this workshop across the region. And this workshop is the champion move to establish a symbiotic relationship between university and the students. There would be around 14 technical sessions which will be covered throughout these 3 days, and that will be most of the interactive type, because that's why we called it as workshop, where students and the participants will get hands-on experience through various case studies of IPR. So let's urge for building creative India and innovative India. And it is famous quote by Steve Jobs, innovation distinguishes a leader and the follower, which covers everything. So let me thank once again SAIL for IPR Promotion and Management for their generous cooperation and valuable support for the workshop. And also to Mark, I would just like to mention over here, we are the also first university to start MBA in Technology Management, the brainchild of Professor Ms. Sunita Mangeshkarad ma'am. So we have also started MBA in Technology Management, so which is very much or quite on the same line of the National Workshop on IPR. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, sir. Like every other auspicious occasion, let's begin this event by offering our prayers to Ma Saraswati and to conduct our lamp lighting ceremony. May I request all our dignitaries to proceed to the lamp lighting ceremony and Ma Saraswati Puja. It is extremely important to light the lamp of love in your heart, the lamp of abundance in your college, the lamp of compassion to serve others, the lamp of knowledge to dispel the darkness of ignorance, and the lamp of gratitude for the abundance that the divine has bestowed on us. Light dispels darkness, and when the darkness of ignorance within you is dispelled through the light of wisdom, technology, and innovation, goodness prevails. May I request everyone to give a huge round of applause. Thank you very much. I would now like to call upon Dr. Kishore Ravande sir, the program chairperson, to address the gathering.
Good morning, distinguished guests on the dais, Honorable Executive President, Dr. Mangesh Karad sir. Honorable Executive President, Dr. Mangesh Karad sir. Our distinguished chief guest, Dr. Sadanand Gokhale sir. Our beloved Vice Chancellor, Honorable Dr. Sunil Rai sir. We have with us our Registrar, Dr. Mari, Dr. Dubey, Dr. Kaple, Dr. Vasant Pawar, my distinguished colleagues, heads of the departments, principals, deans, distinguished delegates from various parts of the country for this workshop, student friends, ladies and gentlemen. It is indeed a proud privilege and pleasure for me to stand before you to formally welcome all of you to this twin function of Engineers Day celebration together with the inaugural ceremony of 3-day workshop on intellectual property right. At the outset, let me greet all of you with Engineers Day. Engineers Day happens to be on 15th September, the celebration of the birthday of Bharat Ratna Sir Mokshagundam Vishweshwaraya. And this being a holiday yesterday, we thought that it should be appropriate for us to celebrate immediate next working day. So today we are here to celebrate Engineers Day as well as mark the inauguration of 3-day workshop. At the outset, let me take up the first part of the program, that is Engineers Day. As all of you know, this Engineers Day is to mark the celebration of the birthday of Sir Mokshagundam Vishweshwaraya. And he is not only an engineer of eminence, but for the city of Pune, he first belongs to city of Pune. As all of you know, that he was a student of College of Engineering Pune. He passed out his engineering from College of Engineering Pune, and then it was the Bombay University degree. And being a topper of that university, he was immediately offered a job. And in fact, first part of his career he has spent in Maharashtra, more particularly in Pune, and he is known to be a person who has patented and designed the Weir water floodgates way back in 1903 for Khadakwasa project of Maharashtra state, which is very much close to Pune city. So in fact, we all Puneans should be proud that Sir Mokshagundam Vishweshwaraya belonged to Pune first and India later, if I say so proudly. Then Sir Mokshagundam Vishweshwaraya moved to the other part of the country, and he was a chief engineer who had designed the Krishnaraj Sagar Dam in Karnataka, and he was also the pioneer in doing the flood protection system for the city of Hyderabad. His work is well known. I need not really elaborate on his work, but as a mark of his recognition of his work in engineering field, he was awarded Bharat Ratna in 1955. 101-year-old Mokshagundam Vishweshwaraya has been really a great inspiration for all of us, and it is indeed our proud privilege that we at MIT ADT University is celebrating his birthday today. On this behalf, I would like to extend welcome to all our guests. We have with us the most distinguished professor, Professor Dr. Sadanand Gokhaleji, who comes from IIT Madras, and he was the director of several institutions, several NITs of 5 NITs of the state of 5 NITs of Government of India, and that is a very rare distinction. And his specialization being aerospace engineering is again another feather in his cap. I'm also very happy to mention that we at MIT School of Engineering, more particularly Aerospace Engineering Department, is very fortunate to get him to deliver the guest lectures almost after every unit of a particular subject. And he has been so simple and kind enough that he has agreed to come, and he has already started delivering that lecture. So, sir, welcome, sir, to this Engineers Day at MIT ADT University. I also extend a warm welcome to our Executive President, who has been our source of inspiration. We always derive all the strength from him, and whatever we are able to do, it is only because of his encouragement that comes. So also our beloved Vice Chancellor, who is always there at our help. Whenever we approach him, he is really there to help us in every aspect. In fact, both these leaders of MIT ADT University have been really kind enough to make our academic life extremely happier and very, very, productive. Sir, I welcome both of you on behalf of MIT ADT University. I also extend a warm welcome to Mrs. Gokhale, who is here with us in audience. She is also an educationist, and I hope to look forward her lectures being delivered to our faculty sooner. We also welcome our other distinguished guest on the dais, our registrar, Mani sir, who has been kind enough in helping us in all administrative matters. Dr. Vasant Pawar, a good colleague of ours who is always there for every function whenever he is invited. Our CEO, Mohit Dubey, who is going to drive and incubate the ideas of young students. We conducted poster competitions and we told them that your ideas coming through posters would definitely be encouraged at Atal Incubation Center. And also the important person for us, Dr. Kaple, who is going to really induce quality in every parameter of MIT ADT University. So welcome all of you. I also welcome all the distinguished delegates who have come far from other places to attend this 3-day workshop, which is really a great kind of unique workshop. First time in MIT ADT University conducted under the aegis of a research and consultancy cell. This workshop is being formally supported by Department of Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, Government of India, and also the CPAM, the Cell of IPR Promotion and Management, Government of India. We also thank, in fact, I take this upon to thank these organizations for supporting this important workshop. And this workshop is very important for all of us in the reason being within 3 years of university that has commenced here functioning, we have got 132 research scholars on board with us in all the schools. This is something very significant, and the workshop on intellectual property right has an important role, especially with the research scholars who would be doing their research on this campus. And they would certainly get the idea through deliberations of 3-day workshop on importance and scope of IPR in academic research, type of innovations that can be patented, and also procedures of patenting, writing, filing of patents, etc., etc. As in the beginning, Suraj was said that this work, we have named it a workshop because we are going to deal with all the issues with the case studies so that the participants understand really how we can go about intellectual property right. So this is these next 3 days would be really going to be very productive in terms of understanding about IPR. And for the university, young university of MIT ADT, this workshop is of very significance because we want, and our executive president, the vice chancellor, our founder president, Dr. Vishwanath Kararji, all of us, all of them want this university also to contribute immensely in terms of research and entrepreneurship so that really this university contributes to the growth and development of society at large. So with this, I think I would like to take sign off. Before that, I once again welcome all of you to this twin function of Engineers Day celebration as well as National Workshop on Intellectual Property Right. I wish all the delegates a very happy and fruitful deliberation in next coming 3 days. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, now it's time to felicitate our chief guest, Honorable Dr. Sadanand Gokhaleji. He is the former director at VNIT Nagpur. Sir has played various roles at different institutes in his life so far, and just to name a few. He was the director at the LNM Institute of Information Technology, Jaipur, Vishveshwaraya National Institute of Technology, Nagpur, and National Institute of Technology, Calicut. He also had various roles at IIT Madras, such as assistant professor, associate professor, professor, and the head of the Department of Aerospace Engineering. His areas of specialization are aerospace propulsion, computational fluid dynamics, simulation and optimization, and multimedia in education. He has total 18 publications at various journals, and he has presented more than 20 papers at various conferences and seminars. Sir has introduced various industrial research and consultancy projects, such as development of jet engine and control simulator at Aeronautical Development Agency, theoretical studies in composite air-breathing propulsion at ISRO, IIT, Gun Internal Ballistic Studies for Solid Fuel RAM Jet at Armament Research Board. He also completed his PhD in 1980 from Aeronautics and Astronautic Engineering at University of Illinois, USA. So let us welcome sir with a huge round of applause. He is also a fellow member of Aeronautical Society of India and Institution of Engineers, a life member of Indian Society of Heat and Mass Transfer and Indian Society of Technical Education. We welcome you, sir. I would now like to request our Executive President, Honorable Professor Dr. Mangesh Karad, sir, to felicitate Honorable Dr. Sadanand Gokhale ji. Please give a thunderous applause for our honorable chief guest, Dr. Sadanand Gokhale ji. It's a privilege and we are honored to have you amongst us here. We are also conferring the award to Sir. Thank you, everyone. Let us proceed. You all are aware that we are always blessed by our founder president, Honorable Professor Dr. Vishwanath Karad sir. An engineer by profession, sir has always showed us the pathway to lead us to value-based professional education. The engineer in him is always reflected through his words of wisdom, work and dedication. This is best reflected in the construction of the world's largest dome that we have here on our campus. In the similar way, we cannot and must not forget another engineer who is here amongst us on the stage, Honorable Professor Dr. Mangesh Karad sir. Sir is also an engineer by profession. His engineering skills are best reflected in the actions that he takes and the involvement that he has in each and everything. He is the combination of innovative ideas, dedication, perfection, and best administration. And he is also caring towards his staff, and that's the best thing a leader should have. Ladies and gentlemen, we welcome Sir here, and I would like to request our Principal, Dr. Kishore Ravande sir, to felicitate Honorable Professor Dr. Mangesh Karad sir. His qualities put MIT at global level. That's the combination of global and local. So thank you very much, sir. Let us proceed. INS Vikrant, Himgiri, Nilgiri, and oil tanker Shakti are the names known to everyone here. So who do you think is the next engineer here on the stage? Honorable Dr. Sunil Rai, sir. Sir, your presence is really valuable. Thank you very much for being here. May I request our Dean, Dr. Rajnish Kaur Sajdev ma'am, to felicitate Honorable Dr. Sunil Rai, sir. His ideas in the development of MIT ADT University are always appreciated. A Vice Chancellor with a smiling face is what we all call you, sir. So thank you very much. May I now request Honorable Vice Chancellor Dr. Sunil Rai sir to address the gathering.
My compliments and greetings to all of you for the Engineers Day. I join Dr. Ravande in welcoming our chief guest for this occasion, a legendary engineer himself, Dr. Gokhale sir and Mrs. Gokhale. Thank you for gracing this occasion and blessing this particular day, the celebration, the twin celebration. One is about the Engineers' Day and the other one is the IP workshop. I join him, of course, in welcoming, first remembering our founding father, Honorable Dr. Vishwanath Karad, one whose picture you see just behind us. For those who are coming from outstation, he is the inspiration behind us, and his inspiration on the other side, Swami Vivekananda. So both the inspiration and the inspiration's inspiration, I bow and remember on this great day, and thanks will be an understatement for Honorable Dr. Vishwanath Karad for creating one of the finest set of high-quality institutions for higher education in the country, right from 1983 onwards. And someone who has joined him in this journey, like Arjuna, is Dr. Mangesh Karad. Welcome, sir. And thank you for giving such wonderful institutions to the society and to the nation, not only in the state of Maharashtra, but not also now outside states. So MIT is growing not only in state of Maharashtra. For all those of you who have come, we are already present in Madhya Pradesh, we are presented in Far East, and very soon you might MIT's name in South and also in East, in Middle East, not Middle East, in the center East of the country, in Patna and so on and so forth. So yes, the agenda remains same, quality institutions being created, and that's reflected by the presence of the other guests who are there on the dais. So we have quality represented by Mr. Kaple, Dr. Kaple. We have, of course, incubation for entrepreneurship represented by Mohit Dubey. And of course, Dr. Kishore Ravande and Dr. Vasant Pawar, the area of technology, and of course my colleague registrar. So compliments to all of you, and I welcome all the heads of institutions, my deans, fellow colleagues, staff members, students, and above all the participants of this workshop. I would also like to mention very special thanks with gratitude to CIPAM, DPIIT, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, and I welcome all the representatives who are here today to conduct this workshop on IPR. So welcome to the Engineers' Day celebration. Very happy Engineers' Day, and welcome to this 3 days of workshop. Welcome to the finest campus in the country. I am not saying that. ASSOCHAM says that this is the finest campus in the country. We have no such restrictions here on clapping. Thank you very much. All right. No, because you think it's a serious function. It is definitely a serious function. We must celebrate. Welcome to a campus which is a unique campus. Nowhere in the world you will find arts, design, and technology under one roof. Madam mentioned this, Mrs. Gokhale, about this, that she was impressed, and so was Gokhale sir, about this. This is a rare, very unique combination, built on idealistic values, rich values of the Mayer's Trust, and of course our founding fathers' passion of unionizing science and spirituality for the benefit of mankind. So welcome to this experience called MIT ADT University. I welcome all the participants to this 3-day workshop. Having said all this and welcomed you all, paid my compliments, I would like to express, as I always do, some of my views on this today's occasion in 3 parts. The first part is I would like to pay my respect to all the engineers right from the time the mankind understood the word engineering, from the lake-dwelling days when the man came out of the caves and first time started living in society in the lake dwellings, and of course came the first engineering, which is the civil engineering, and the mechanical engineering, the 2 basic engineering forms which took shape as early as the mankind can remember. And thereafter, of course, all the engineers who have actually built this beautiful world for all of us in the various fields of engineering. Today, of course, we talk of information technology, artificial intelligence, 4G, 5G, and of course, aerospace engineering, of which the whole nation has witnessed the marvel of achievement of our ISRO scientists. Well, the lander is still on moon. So if somebody says it did not land, that is not correct. The lander is on moon, it is in shape, and miracles happen in this nation because this nation has been blessed by gurus, saints, sages for thousands of years. Don't be surprised, in 1 week time you find that the lander has started walking itself on the moon. And I pray that it happens. The report is that the lander is quite okay. The photographs taken by the orbiter are suggesting that it's properly in shape. Just once we maintain some communication or there's some miracles happen, because the hard work, the sweat and blood of the engineers of ISRO cannot go waste. After all, they did land the lander on the moon. So let's compliment, let's remember all the engineers who have built this beautiful day. So my first thing is with you all, I pay my respect and compliments to all the engineers who have built roads, bridges, dams, buildings, machinery, robots, IT, cyberspace, aerospace, and so on and so forth. The limit is endless. So my respect to all the engineers on this Engineers Day, and of course, who better than Vishwesvaraya ji, as was all the account of his brilliance was given by Dr. Ravande. So my respect and compliments to all the engineers who have been building the world, and my good wishes to all the engineers who are going to make this world even better in the times to come. So my good wishes to all the engineers who are going to take the society further into happiness, joy, and coexistence. The second part is some thoughts on the way we should be doing engineering. I was very happy today with Gokhale sir when we walked. Our first year SOE students demonstrated their version of the lander, and they have created out of nothing. Zero money spent. All that was spent was innovative ideas and efforts. And that is what is the kind of engineering this nation is looking at. It just so happened, because the mark of success of brilliance has been coming from the West, the United States of America in particular, and the other European countries. They have created that brilliance and engineering wonders with abundance, because abundance was available to them. The problems they faced were minuscule as compared to the challenges that we face in India. And therefore, what I am recommending with due earnest to all the engineers, and we look up to you, young engineers, to make this happen. Engineering for India, of India, by India. Engineering of India has to be from Indian resources. It has to be from that very principle of Samanvaya and the principle of Sukshma. We had been living in this nation by not wasting anything. Our forefathers have taught, you take a bed sheet, then the bed sheet becomes a tablecloth, then tablecloth, it becomes finally a bag, which Modi ji is talking about today. Theli movement, he's saying no plastics, please carry your own theli, till finally it becomes pocha. Till it fellow says, ki sir, now enough is enough. I was come here as bed sheet. The point what is being made is here, that we can ill afford to waste resources, and particularly in this nation. And therefore, we have to create, as ISRO has set an example. They created a satellite at half the cost and 1/3 the time, right? And in first attempt, they land on the south pole of moon. Now, this is something which is great. And this is an inspiration to all of us. And I join our Dr. Kishore Ravande sir in saying that I can now call myself, though I am a Mumbaikar, but now a proud Puneite because I am an MIT ADT functionary. So therefore, the city of Pune has always been having contributions, not only in getting the freedom to this nation, it all started here. But I was given to understand by our chief guest for the foundation day, Shri A.S. Kiran Kumarji, who is the former chairman of ISRO. His claim to fame is that he was the Chandrayaan Part 1. 70% components were built by him and his team. And he tells us, saver claps, they're coming something more, all right? Okay. And he told us that day, and sir would remember, Mangesh sir, that he said that day that 60% of the components that went into Chandrayaan 1 were built in city of Pune. By the various electronic companies, IT companies, those components were built here. Vishwesvaraya ji started his life from Pune. So Pune somehow happens to be a place which is blessed. Which is blessed because we have the best of the laboratories in the country here. The chemical laboratory, the CWPRS, ERDE, and the list is very, very long. So Pune is a place where these things can germinate. So young engineers, kindly create engineering of India. It has to be of our own resources. Complicated problems need not have complicated solutions. And again proved by another person from Pune, Dr. Vijay Bhatkar, who created a supercomputer at half the cost and double the speed than Cray 2, which was refused to Rajiv Gandhi by the United States of America. And when he requested somebody, there was a young scientist of 40 years of age. And in that whole hall, he just stood up and said, I will create that supercomputer. Again, it's Pune's contribution that we created supercomputer of double the MFLOPS, as it used to be called those days, and half the cost. Why I am giving you these examples is, the thing is very clear. Complicated problems can be solved with simple solutions, right? And we will do it with our own resources. So let it be engineering of India. And let it be engineering by India. We do not have to copy anybody. I'm not saying there is anything wrong in copying. I have all respect for all the scientists all over the world who have invented. If there was no Newton, if there was no Einstein, things wouldn't have happened, or Faraday, right? Or our own C.V. Raman, and so many of them. They are all who have created this world. Now is the time, and that's why our Atal Incubation Center is here. We keep talking of these ideas. Mangesh Karatji's one of the dream project is about low-cost housing. And he always keeps talking about this low-cost housing, waste management, water management. Water is going to be a serious, serious problem in times to come. It is also said that the next wars will be fought for water. And therefore, we have to find our solutions our own way. Reducing wastage is another way of production. Is that the way that we can possibly do it? And therefore, young engineers, please find Indian solutions for the engineering and the Indian way. And we have to find enough problems which we need to solve for our society, we do it. And finally, for India. Whatever we do, of course, it's a 3 days workshop, it's IPR, I will come to that, it's very, very important. It's very important that what you do gets registered and gets acknowledged. For 2 reasons. One, it gets catalogued so that somebody else can build up, that's what IP is all about. And the second one is there are no false claims. They wanted to put an IP on our Basmati, fortunately we stopped it in time. And thanks to Modi, yoga could not be, patronized by them. Otherwise, someday you would have found that the yoga took birth in the United States of America, and then they would have sold the same asanas to us in dollars. So IP is important, but it should not be done just for discovery's sake. Discovery is very important because discovery is the basis of advancement of society. So there has to be a discovery, but this discovery has to be with application. And this application has to be for the good of, as our founding father says, for the good of mankind. Let us start with our own country first. We as engineers can only pat our back when all our villages are electrified, when all our villages have got clean drinking water, when all our villages have got all the amenities that are existing anywhere in the world. And this is when we can say we have achieved engineering for India. So young engineers, please achieve this engineering of India, by India, and for India is what I am trying to suggest. I would like to compliment our Dean RNC and the entire research cell of MIT ADT University for conceiving this 3-day workshop, very important. And once again, thanking the Ministry of Commerce for the CIPAM, DPIIT for supporting us in this 3-day workshop. I welcome all the participants and delegates to this workshop and wish you a very happy learning, very happy deliberation. Once again, compliments and greetings to you for a very happy, fruitful, and progressive Engineers Day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Dear audiences, as you all are aware that MIT ADT University is the most happening place when it comes to various programs and competitions, and today is no exception. On account of Engineers Day, our students participated in various programs and competitions such as blood donation, poster making competition, essay writing competition, and quiz competition. Now it's time to praise all these students. Now I would like to request all our dignitaries to give away the prizes to all our winners. We'll start with mechanical engineering students. I would like to call upon Malhar Pandey. He is the winner in the competition poster presentation. Shreya Shinde, may I call, the first runner-up. Poster presentation competition by Mechanical Engineering Department. That's the first winner, Malhar Pandey. The first runner-up is Shreya Shinde. Quiz competition on Battle of the Brains. And the winner is Prathamesh Joshi and Kevin Patel. May I request both of you to come here on the stage. By Mechanical Engineering. First runner-up is Pranav Balaji Iyengar and Manav Mishra. Let's proceed to Gaurav and Malhar, Hiram Pandey, the second runner-up of the quiz competition from Mechanical Department. From Civil Department, poster presentation, the winner is Surabhi Rodge. The first runner-up are Joe Swile and group. Georges Swile and group. Pranil Shivankar, Amay Shitode and Pranav Dhumar. These are the first runner-up from Civil Department. Surabhi Rodge. Georges Swile and group. The first runner-up of the poster presentation. The second runner-up, Saili Wadkar. Saili Wadkar. Essay writing competition. The winner Jadhav Rushish. Essay writing competition from Civil Department. Patni Yash Santosh Kumar, the first runner-up, and the second runner-up is Adarsh Deshmukh. Aerospace essay writing competition. Suraj Suresh. Aerospace. All right, let us proceed. Poster presentation. Tathagat Bhalerao and Ajinkya Darekar, the winner. Kshitij Mehta, Vidushi Khandelwal, Pratik Dhirendra Singh, Shreyas Satish Dhumar. The first runner-up of poster presentation. What is the name? आ गया था. Information technology, the poster presentation competition. The winner is Shivam Kanungo, Sandesh Katkar, Surya Acharya, the first winner of the poster presentation by information technology. The first runner-up are Rutuja Karbhor, Prachi Karbhor, and Vivek Rote. And the second runner-up, Harshit Soni, Adarsh Roy, Rajiv Sinha, Vivek Kinge. Essay writing competition. The winner is Nilesh Zhagde. The poster making competition. Akshada Chaudhary and Anushri Prajeshan, the winner. The first runner-up, Vaishnavi and Supran Bishwas. The second runner-up, Anirudh Patel, Kabir Khan and Nancy Hazra. Harshit Soni, Adarsh Roy, Rajiv Sinha, and Vivek Kinje. Have you got the certificate? All right. The essay writing competition, Nilesh Zagade from IT. He is the first winner. The first runner-up, Abhinay Gunjar. And the second runner-up, Adia. Can we have Adia? Akshada Chaudhary from ECE. No, wait. Okay. Harshit Soni, Adarsh Roy, Rajiv Sinha, and Vivek Kinde. Right. So essay writing competition by ECE. The first winner is Shodh Singh. The first runner-up is Parth Singh. And the second runner-up is Tara Prasad Shadangi.
ये टेप में मैंने हबीबुद्दीन खान साहब की रिकॉर्डिंग में सुना था जो उन्होंने बजाया वो आपके सामने एक नजराना
The first year students applied sciences and humanities. Poster making presentation. The winner is Neha Kori and Disha Athavle. The first runner-up is Dakshayani Aute, Shreya Ghosh, Prithvi Shinde, Tania Ramwan, and Sanjivini Parida. The second runner-up, Ayushi Parikh, Omkar Shinde, and Manvi Jamwal. Essay writing competition, first winner Jayant Ghade, Sampada Chobe, the first runner-up, and the second runner-up is Rugved Bodke. What's your name? ECE.
Applied.
You can go.
Sampada Rugveda.
Sampada Chobe and Rugveda Bodke. The first runner-up Sampada Chobe and the second runner-up is Rugveda Bodke of essay writing competition. And the winner is Jayant Ghadge, who is not present here. Whatever. Poster making competition of CSE. The winners are Rajendra Kulkarni, Mukund Shinde, Vipul Mankar, Sumit Baraskar. This is the poster presentation. The first runner-up are Purvika Bajaj, Shravri Deshpande, Sharvari Deshpande. The second runner-up are Gurvind Singh, Kshitiz Gunjarkar, and Saad Ahmed. Can we have all the students here on the stage? essay writing competition, Saiba, Saad Ahmed and Swapnil Gaudar from CSE. The winner is Saiba. The first runner-up is Saad Ahmed and the second runner-up is Swapnil. Special recognition in essay writing competition, Cadet Kanishka Roy. We are also giving the certificate of commendation to Stephen Sebastian for securing prizes in various national quiz competitions and cricket and table tennis tournaments. Sebastian, Stephen Sebastian. कौन सा बाकी है? किसका? Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir. May I now request Honorable Dr. Sadanand Gokhale ji to address the gathering.
Professor Mangesh Karat, the Vice Chancellor, Registrar, Deans, Heads of Departments, colleagues who have been associated with MIT, the outside participants, the students. Thank you very much for calling me over here, and a very good morning to you. Just about 12 o'clock, so morning is all right, We started a little bit with a sort of electricity failure just for 2 seconds, right? It was symbolic in nature, because education is all about from the light to the light to darkness, right? So darkness was there, and then the light came about. I heard about this particular institution long time ago, and I got the opportunity to be associated in the Department of Aerospace Engineering, and now I stand before you to share some thoughts about the IPR issues. The good part is over, namely all the prizes have been distributed, so everybody is happy, and hopefully everybody should have got what they actually deserve. Prizes are important, and to that extent, I am very happy. I just hope, that you have not lost interest in the remaining proceedings, because it should not be as if, that we came over here, got our stuff, and then we will go, All right. So Engineers Day is celebrated in India and few other countries on the birth anniversary of Sri Mokshagundam Vishvesvaraya, civil engineer par excellence. As everybody has mentioned, he was a student of COEP, and he had occasion of working over here in Pune also. Apart from that, he is known for his timeliness. The program should start on time, appointment should be kept, and so on and so forth. His integrity, honesty, developing and implementing intricate ideas, dedication and creativity. These are the hallmarks of Sir Vishvesvaraya. He was a staunch proponent of industrialization, as he believed that the lack of it would lead to nation being relegated to the backward and underdeveloped nation in the world. His monumental work are witness of his intellect and passion for doing in wide areas from banking, industries from soap to iron, girls' education, setting up educational institutions, professional societies and libraries. Why am I mentioning, because all these things, they are relevant. You are talking about a comprehensive personality development when you come to the academic institutions, right? Previously, it used to be STEM. Everybody knows the meaning of that, Science, right? Technology, engineering, and M for, not for management, but mathematics, right? Somewhere along the line, A has been added, and the A is add, and that makes it a STEAM. From STEM, we are coming to STEAM. Why arts is important, and why the specific objective with which MIT over here has been said, ADT, right? Arts, Design, and Technology. You'd notice, that there have been quite a few science fiction writers. Writers are art, right? They imagined things, Then somebody came and designed it, right? From Leonardo da Vinci, there are pencil sketches of anything and everything that came to his mind, including the helicopters and balloons and whatnot, And then came the technology, and there is a finite gap between all. Everybody sees that, that technology doesn't develop just like that. Today you have something in your mind, and tomorrow you go outside and you have produced something, The ISRO's efforts that everybody is referring to, are unique in some sense, because just about 50 years, we have been able to achieve what we have achieved, So this is something very, very important. Sir, Mokshagundam Vishveshwaraya would shy away from the glare and publicity, but fame naturally followed him, as could be seen in distinguished honors such as Bharat Ratna and knighthood. I doubt whether he had number of patents, about which we are talking today, right? Because that was not his foray. That's not he was working for. He was meticulously dressed, And on one occasion it is said, that he advised Mohandas Karamchand Gandhi, Mahatma Gandhi, that you are going to go meet, you are going to go to London, okay, on a round table conference, go a little bit better dressed, I don't think Mahatma Gandhi would have listened to him, but that goes the story. Engineering profession is just about 400 years old, right? Compared to that, the remaining disciplines, they are pretty old. What are those? The philosophy, mathematics, science, medicine. Medicine is also older. We came about from the military engineering. Why? Because military needed to take their arsenal across the rivers. How do you do that? You need to build the bridges. They needed to store their armaments, and they needed some silos, or some sort of a hangars. Construction came. Their development of weaponry itself, is a chemical engineering in its own sense, Mechanical engineering was required and so on and so forth. So we learned something, and quite a bit, from the civil engineering, Right now we are in a different dimension, We'll come to that particular thing. What are you expected to do as an engineer? An engineer uses energy and appropriate processes to convert material into useful products, which are, underline these three words, safe, reliable, and hopefully sustainable, with universal appeal. Okay? Everyone talks about, global presence, and doing something for our own people and so on and so forth. Perfectly all right, But if you want to be in a competitive world, then whatever you are doing should be marketed outside. Okay? current economic scenario that all of you are aware with or familiar with, there are issues with the employment, issues with the balance of payment, issues with the exports, imports, and so on and so forth, So whatever you are doing, it should be appealing to everyone else, From fierce and cutthroat competition at times evolved a tacit understanding and realization regarding the merits of cooperation and collaboration. Strong drive and motivation for all engineering activities is a robust commercial proposition. So right now when the government mentions, it is no crime, to be rich. Okay? But how are you going to get the richness is something which is important. Whether it is by hurting somebody or it is by doing things right, Universities, which are temples of learning, have large intellectual capital. That means students are there, faculty is there, research scholars are there, and I'm very glad to hear, that in less than 3 years, you are having more than 130 research scholars, because that is something which is a remarkable achievement, With the print and e-library and journals, universities have readily available knowledge/information sources. We are classically bestowed with the responsibility of knowledge creation. As a faculty and as a university, it's our responsibility to create the knowledge, store it in terms of books, in terms of journals, in terms of products, and so on and so forth, and disseminate it for the benefit of the future generations. As a faculty, what is my job? To prepare the next generation. For what? To face the, let us say, next 50 years down the line. And that is what the young engineers who are sitting over here would be expected to do. We explain to our students and research scholar community subtle differences in triad of discovery, invention, and innovation. These words are generally clubbed together, but they have got a certain distinction. You discover a planet, you discover an element in periodic table, and so on and so forth, Invention is something, that steam engine is an invention, it is the first industrial revolution, and so on and so forth, right? And innovation is making some changes, So from steam engine you went to the diesel engine, and then you went to the electric locomotive, and so on and so forth. And right now you are talking about high-speed trains, Scholarly and significant contributions to further knowledge find place and utility value in all the societies. There are a variety of rewards and accolades, such as Nobel and other similar prizes, medals and citations of various type, Vikram lander on Chandrayaan-2 and Parker's solar probe launched last year by NASA are also means of recognizing individuals' contribution in professional fields. There is no money attached to it, but the singular type of objective which somebody has dedicated their life towards a particular theme is something which is extremely important. There are elements in the periodic table named after discoverers such as Bohrium, against whose name? Niels Bohr, and Curium for Marie and Pierre Curie. Trademark, copyright, and patents are three instruments of intellectual property, of which the first one is without any time limit. So any particular thing that you have, you would be having your signature tune somewhere. It is identified by TM. Copyright is the next one, and that is hot favorite with all the faculty members, because you would like to publish. And from time to time, people would be saying publish or perish, and so on and so forth. So for your promotion and for your own good, you need to publish. There are journals, number of journals, and you need to publish it in the reputed journals. There are journals, which would be publishing things, for a cost. And there are authors, who would be writing it for you. Ask the students, their project report, final year project report, somebody is sitting outside under the tree, he would say, I will type your project report. Doesn't know nothing about, what he should be writing it. And the final thing, in this particular publishing business is plagiarism. It has to be avoided at any cost, Give due credit, to the person. You have no problem in quoting somebody, but give him due credit, So in your paper, there will be some references and bibliography and so on and so forth, So this is something which is very popular for us, Copyright for journal publication rests with the publisher, correct? So when you submit it, and let us say your paper is accepted, then he would send you a form on which you need to sign it under the dotted lines, and then the paper is going to be accepted for printing and so on and so forth. Any research activity requires adequate and proper facilities, plus research funding and planning. It allows the faculty to carry out our passion for doing something different and original. Such funding, by and large, is from the government departments. Have you seen any private industry coming up with giving you crores and crores of money? No. You would be getting funding, from what? Department of Science and Technology, Department of Biotechnology, okay, Defense Departments, and so on and so forth. So these are by and large government departments, And you are getting money. Whose money is it? It's the taxpayers' money. Correct? It is the taxpayers' money. So the question that you have is that how you would be able to have patent, where the money itself has come from everyone else. So you should be able to share it. But then there is a process that has gone in between, right? And that process is in terms of collecting the data, analyzing it, publishing your result, and the outcome of that is going to be making something useful. So I have contributed to it, and to that extent, the faculty or whosoever is working, research organizations, etc., they should be rewarded. They should be recognized and they should be rewarded, Nothing wrong in it, And this particular conflict was there not only in our country. In our country, everything is like a flash, right? So the minute there was a little bit of a doubt about the Chandrayaan and whether it succeeded or not, all of us stayed up to 2 o'clock midnight, and then when it didn't land, all of us felt sad, right? But there are other guys, who keep on challenging, saying, was it required to spend 1,000 crore rupees on this type of activity? There are naysays, We need to really put them in their place, Saying, science is for science sake. It doesn't necessarily look for immediate output, This is not a transactional type of aptitude, right? You go to the grocery store, pay him 10 rupees and get maybe kurkure or whatever, chips. It is not that. The science goes for the transformation of the knowledge. Transformational activity is something which is important for the science, This we collectively, as researchers, as a faculty, should be proud in saying it. We should not be shying away from it, saying, so much of money has been wasted. It could have been, there are lots of, even politicians are short-sighted, It's just that, somewhere along the line, somebody has to stand behind the scientist, and this time around, what Narendra Modi ji did, what was remarkable, when he, those of you who are interested, try to find out, there is a video clip about Abdul Kalam. This was all the way back in 1979, when he was a project director for SLV, and the first effort, he failed. So, Satish Dhawan, who was the chairman, he went to address the press conference. And he said, we failed. We in the sense who? The whole ISRO. And I, as a head of the ISRO, take the responsibility for it. 1 year down the line, Abdul Kalam launches SLV successfully. At that time, Satish Dhawan goes, pats him on his back and says, go and face the press. At that time, he was on the backside. And that is the greatness of the scientists, whom you can probably emulate, Right? Look at this particular thing. Landmark legislation in United States in 80s set the tone for direction for creating a win-win situation. The route was government funding given to the universities who would license the IP to firms for furthering it. So my job at the university is to produce that IP. And then later on, what do? I transfer the technology. Can I be producing something? No, because I already have my task cut out. And that task cut out is to teach and so on and so forth, right? So after I do my bit, I give it to other MSMEs or anybody who is interested in taking it to the commercially successful level. And this is something which is very important. It is much better than having a sleeping patent. What is the meaning of sleeping patent? You get a patent for the sake of getting a patent. Are you going to get something out of it? You got your pride, saying, I did it, and the patent was granted to me, right? But apart from that, where you able to get something, So I will give you some numbers in the recent times, as to the cost-benefit ratio or input-output type of a characteristics, So when there were some concessions given, both from the National Science Foundation, which funds, and the patent office, saying, that yes, faculty can sell this particular technology, to the concerned people. Whatever the benefits are accrued, a certain proportion of that benefit should be also given to the people who actually work for that. And there is nothing wrong in it, So this type of a clarity came just about 30-40 years ago. It was not there previously. You do the work. I did a lot of work, for the defense departments, You do that particular work, and you are not allowed to publish it for confidentiality reason, for the reason of security and so on and so forth, But can we just see things beyond, All right. So this is something which is very important. This started in the United States. Most of the Western world adopted it in a different form. There were some variations. And probably we also would be doing it. Case in example. Last year, just about this time, there was one workshop that was organized, and I was supposed to have taken care of part of it. This was in a Defense Institute of Advanced Technology. Because the current thought process is the defense and space is going to have a certain component of it which will be produced by the private people. Okay? So privatization of defense and the space sector has already started. So this particular workshop, was to identify, and there were three partners, the Defense Department, the academic institutions, okay, and CII. So CII was able to identify, those industries which will be capable of doing it, and there is a outfit of this particular defense organization, which is called as the GITA, Global Initiative and Technology Enhancement, etc., technology augmentation, So we did a workshop, and the defense was willing to cough up about 10 crore rupees if you would be able to solve the problem, in within stipulated period. And that stipulated period was 2 years. Take a call. If you want to do that, jump into it. 10 crore is not a small money. Let me be quite candid about it. And you have already identified the end user, namely the CII partner. And there were quite a few interesting projects that we considered. I was looking at one particular project as a team lead, IPR and patents are primarily used for the purpose of commercial solicitation. You need to have endpoint over there. Proportion of commercial success can't be guaranteed. This is something which is important, Don't expect, that, okay, I have a patent, tomorrow or day after, I'm going to be millionaire. That simply doesn't happen. There is no correlation between number of patents and corresponding commercial success. So these are some of the examples. For example, Bill Gates has less than 10 patents. Less than 10 patents, To be precise, or 8 or 9, okay. In his name, in his personal name, but Microsoft has got more than 56,000. Now, Bill Gates' personal wealth, all of you are aware, in the world, he is either number 1 or 2. And that depends, the position keeps on switching between Amazon's Bezos and Bill Gates, right? Is there any correlation between the patents that he had or the superstructure that he created in Microsoft, right? In Microsoft, everybody was developing patents, and there is a mad rush for publishing patents, right? If that is not enough, Samsung has 1.5 million patents, whereas its arch-rival Apple has half of that, about 75,000. Bitter war between the two on account of patent infringement lasted for nearly a decade and was amicably resolved out of courts only last year, 2018. Patents are classified into utility or design with a patent term of 20 and 15 years respectively. Since this is a 3-day workshop, you would be knowing in detail from the knowledgeable persons, patent attorneys as well as from the DSTs and so on and so forth. Also, patent could be country specific or global in nature. There are different laws for patents in life cycle domain. The new policy came into force in the first half of this decade, and country-wise, currently US has got the maximum number of patents, followed by China and Japan and South Korea. India ranks somewhere around 52nd. Okay. There are a few patents that change the world. One of it, these are some of the examples, where the patent actually really made the difference, One of it includes magnetic levitation based on a full-size linear induction motor. A technical thing. Electrical engineers would know it, Comprehensive work of Eric Lightweight in 1967 led to somebody else taking it to the logical conclusion that such device which does not need contact with the railroad track and would provide both lift as well as forward thrust for transportation was developed by Powell and Danby and became commercially viable in United Kingdom in 1995. Those of you who are going to be in this urge, to do something unique, please start reading. You got to read and read and read, and there is enough material that is available. There is a book, Innovators. There is also a book which is called as Idea Factory, which is basically on the IBM's initiative, because IBM has got a whole lot of patents, In the good old time, Thomas Edison he's supposed to be having approximately 1,000 patents. Currently, there is a Chinese, who has got 4,000 patents. Again, how many of them are going to be useful? Because what happens, is that as you start progressing, everything gets patented, Those of you who use computers, all of you are aware, right? Every month or two, there is an upgrade. And when there is an upgrade, that particular thing will be patented. So, okay, you have 56,000, 5 lakh, whatever, Similar concept is expected to be used in the Hyperloop, which is Maharashtra government is interested. So between Bombay and Pune, there is going to be vacuum tube in which this magnetic levitation would be there. What is the advantage of magnetic levitation? If it doesn't touch any part, right, the frictional force is gone. And friction for all of us engineers, is to be avoided as much as it is possible. Not totally, because if the friction is totally lost, you will not be able to walk on this floor. You walk on this floor, basically because of a friction. But in transportation and wherever the energy is going to be utilized, if the friction is going to be minimized, you are better off, So magnetic levitation trains are indeed important. And it is expected that the Elon Musk's this Hyperloop type of a concept will take you to 750 miles per hour. It's a vacuum tube. In a vacuum, there is not going to be any air resistance, there is not going to be any frictional resistance, and you will be able to zoom past. If, as and when this particular concept is fulfilled, the distance between Bombay and Pune, you will be able to cover it in 20 minutes. Right now we are having a whole lot of a problem coming from our homes, to the workplaces, because the traffic congestion is phenomenal. You need to do something about it, In today's world, numerous technologies developed by various inventors come together cohesively to make a new entity such as iPhone or self-driving car. Another fairly simple, in almost everybody's wallet, there is going to be ATM card. So how did this particular ATM start functioning, or when did it start functioning? And the story goes, somewhere in 1967, there was a person called Baron. In 1967, he went to the bank and he couldn't draw the money. Why? Because the bank people, they told him, saying you are late. So get lost, He came out of it, he said, what can I do? So he said, in the vending machine, if I can put up a coin and get a chocolate or a candy bar, why can't I do the similar sort of a thing with the money? ATM started working, And here, the span between actually functional ATM was very, very small, Based on this idea, patent was filed in 1971 and granted to Wetzel in 1973. Now try to figure it out, the number of technologies that are involved or which are integrated in the ATM. Because when you go and push that particular card, take the money, have you ever thought, about what exactly might be happening? Today you can go to any ATM and use your ATM card which doesn't belong to that particular bank and still get the money. So the number of technologies, I'm just listing it some, screens, whether it is a touch screen or keyboard type of a thing, card reader. You go to HDFC Bank, you push that card, he eats your card and then he spits it back, But partly you are scared, saying if he doesn't give it back to me, what would happen, Okay. So, you have something of that sort. Vault protection. So the crooks, they have now, they can use brute force. You know what it means? There are two things, and your bank would invariably will be telling you this thing, that make sure nobody is watching over your shoulder, what is the pin that you are entering and blah, blah, blah. And there are guys, who take a copy of your ATM card and use it later on and so on and so forth. So what is the brute force method? Some idiots, they decided, that this is too sophisticated, So they lifted the whole ATM and then they took it in a lorry and took it somewhere else, So that particular thing also can happen, Security, monitoring, communicating to appropriate banks, GPS, record keeping, and in situ updating of your magnetic strip, etc. And each one of this particular technology that I talked to you about is patentable. All of you agree? GPS for a variety of reasons, for marine applications is different, for aircraft application is something different, Now you have got a GPS in your automobiles, Each one is going to be with a shuttle. Can you use your automobile GPS, into aircraft? Hell no. So each of these technologies is patentable. Try to figure it out, where your passion takes you. Passion should be there for any patenting, It is not a child's game, As the competition gets stiff, there are a few controversies, claims and counterclaims, There is one controversy, you can search it, about email. It is supposed to be originated by a 14-year-old Indian-born Ayyadurai. But the patent is not in his name. You search for it, I am not passing a judgment. who is right or who is wrong, but the controversies, they do pop up, because ultimately, it is a money business, So all the patents need not be of a great significance. For example, Steve Jobs, he is believed to have 300 plus patents. And shall I tell you one patent, he has? That is for the glass staircase. Now you tell me, what has got a glass staircase got to do for Apple's success, right? But that glass staircase is a iconic type of a thing, which is there in all Apple stores. Okay, so you can probably look at all these things and smile at it. It will not be any of a great significance. So what is the recent trend? Recent trend. So if you would look at the space applications, in the earlier dispensation, any and everything that you do was patented. Okay. Somebody mentioned, over here, saying, that we were not getting things, as far as the ISRO is concerned, we were not getting things, I had done work for Tejas, that is your LCA, Light Combat Aircraft. We got engine, GE404 engine, but they were not willing to give us the algorithm, to make the FADAC system, fully automated digital electronic control system, So we developed it in situ, in IIT Madras, because we said, that if we don't get it, if you get a black box, then we are not going to make any progress, So we developed an academic model, into this particular FADAC control system. So there were times, when everybody was sitting tight on their patents, because they felt, their intellectual property has to be protected, right? Now comes today. Elon Musk has started junking patents as he believes that by doing so, people will start copying Tesla, the useful technology which is essential for the survival of the planet. Okay. Another case. Microsoft has joined Open Invention Network, which is open source patent consortium. In essence, Microsoft has agreed to grant royalty-free and unrestricted license for its entire patent portfolio to all other members. Okay. One more thing, high-end technology developers like NASA is offering startups over 1,000 patents for free. In essence, days of technology denial have made 180 degrees turn. In the late 80s and early 90s, when we were doing some work, I'm telling you something, from my personal experience, So Pokhran 2 happened. And after Pokhran 2 happened, I was the head of the Department of Aerospace Engineering at that time in IIT Madras. We were put on the entities list. There were only 4 academic departments in the country which were put on the entities list. Aerospace in IISc, IIT Madras and IIT Bombay. In IIT Bombay, addition to that, physics also was put on the entities list, And I'm talking about 1998-99. So what would have happened? They said, that if you want to purchase something in IIT Madras, you are going to be giving us a letter saying, that you are not friend of Dr. Gokhale. You understand what I'm saying, And we were made to feel terribly uncomfortable, Why so? Basically because in IIT Madras, I had a rockets and missiles lab. And like idiots, whosoever comes, we were giving them, see, we also have this, US Commerce Department, they picked it up. Pokhran 2 was a slap in the face of America. Because the way in which, the whole project was executed by Anil Kakodkar, Abdul Kalam, was something which was unique. How did it happen? All of you are seeing right now big movies, right? Mangalyaan and things of that sort, because they give you some, there is of course Mirch Masala in that, I mean, everything is not 100%, but you will be able to see something, Our space, that is ISRO's capabilities by then, they have developed so very well that we were tracking American satellites. And when the American satellite was passing over India, we were playing posse. We were playing sleepy, don't do nothing. So they couldn't identify. And America was hopping mad and they were pissed off, saying, that we were foxed. And at that time, the political leadership, took that particular initiative saying, fire. And they fired. Now, the same US government wants to have a tie-up with ISRO, for their solar mission. We are launching their satellites. So technology denial has become something which is a collaborative, cooperative type of a stance, China is interested in joining hands with ISRO. US is interested in joining hand with ISRO. I'm talking about a space, because it is fairly high-end type of a technology, Everybody, wherever you go, they say, I'm not a space science, or space scientist, or this is not a space science, etc., etc., So things have changed dramatically, Basically because India has been able to prove their capabilities. So why deny the technology, Let's join hands, and try to make merry. All the three examples that I gave it to you just now, about Microsoft, about NASA, about Elon Musk and Tesla, all of them are now falling in line with it, किसी का भला हो तो उसका भला तो होने ही दो, उसमें टांग क्यों अड़ाए? So now things have changed, Engineering technology are the main drivers of economy. China and India are the two emerging economies of the world. As of 2019, China and India is the second and the fifth largest economy in the world, respectively, in nominal basis. On PPP basis, China is first and India is third place. Both countries together share 19.4 and 26.64 of the global wealth in nominal and PPP terms. Under this scenario, innovations in all ranks and file play an important role. In Global Innovation Index, Switzerland, Sweden and United States of America led the innovation ranking published in July 2019, whereas India improved slightly over 2018 to 52nd position amongst a list of 130 other countries. Right. Coming back to something which I want to share with you, IIT Madras has set up a research park on a 10-acre campus adjacent to the main campus. It is set up on the lines of successful similar type of parks, in Stanford and MIT. It also successfully propels innovations and well-established RD-focused organization. With students and faculty of IIT Madras, personnel from R&D forms a formidable group with a high percentage of success. This is something which is important. Today is the Engineers' Day. So, where did this particular word come from? Engineer. It originates from the Latin word ingenium, and this means, or ingenious, This means someone who solves problem that elude normal person. And that is what it is. French is ingénieur. Still today, they use that particular word. Starts with I, and the English version of it is engineer. So, we were coined, to solve the common man's problem, which he couldn't solve by himself, And that is going to be our objective, On the lighter side, So what is social engineering or engineered defections? You understand what I'm saying, Engineers have started playing they are pushing their word into something, or we are not pushing, but somebody else is pushing. Engineers inherently are bad political honchos. Okay, that is a top leadership, politicians, etc. We could be politicians. Who are the politicians right now? In the foray. Manohar Parrikar was a IIT Bombay graduate, right? Then your Sudhir Kulkarni is also from IIT. Jairam Ramesh is from IIT. Okay? But they didn't rise to become a prime minister. You see the point? No? The head honcho that I talked about, Jimmy Carter he was an engineer, right? From 76 to 80, he became the president of United States. He couldn't be re-elected. He was replaced by whom? Ronald Reagan, who was a Hollywood B-grade star. You see the point that I'm making? Because engineers, by say, they are good at heart. I'm not saying politicians aren't. But we are good at heart. We can work with the system and the constraints, Engineers are notoriously known for their simplistic approach in life, People believe in us, and let that particular belief and faith continue amongst our tribe, Current focus in the country is on incubation, startups, and Make in India. Government policies currently are conducive towards these aspects to propel youth into becoming successful entrepreneurs. And that is whosoever is sitting over here. Independent universities can definitely strive to follow the role model with suitable modifications. And I was referring to you about the IIT Madras's research park. Those of you, sessions to follow. Yeah, I will quit. He asked me to get out. Okay. So I'm just finishing it. So those of you who could go to IIT Madras, please have a look at Research Park. Because that is something from which we can learn. And this is the right direction to compete in the world and moving India from developing to developed country, developing economy. Thank you very much for patient listening. If I have taken more time, you would pardon me for that. And all the very best compliments to the college, as well as best of wishes on the Engineers' Day celebration. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much. May I request all of you to rise in your seats and give a huge round of applause to sir. Thank you very much. We have also conferred him with the award, that's Engineer of Eminence. So thank you very much, sir, for being here. May I now please request our Executive President, Honorable Professor Dr. Mangesh Karad, sir, to address the gathering.
Hello, good afternoon. The distinguished guest for today's program, Dr. Sadananda Gokhale, our Vice Chancellor, Dr. Sunil Rai, all other dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, and the participants for today's national workshop on the intellectual property rights, all the prize winners on this occasion of the Engineers' Day, and all of you. Firstly, I also extend my compliments and greetings to all budding engineers already who are engineers, working as engineers, and all of you on this wonderful occasion. I think much is talked by Dr. Sadananda Gokhale. He has given a very elaborate lecture about engineers, about, the patents and everything. Dr. Gokhale Sahab, you have nothing left for we people, I think for the session people also to talk about. You have covered all the aspects, but it is a wonderful day. Engineers' Day we celebrate here, Engineers' Day, Teachers' Day. Teachers' Day on the occasion of the birthday of the Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, and on the Engineers' Day on the birthday of the Mokshagundam Vishwasharaya ji, as rightly said, he being the Pune, graduate of engineering college. So we have a special affection for him. And he was a true Indian because he was born in Mysore, and he took his education from Pune, that time Bombay University, and he worked in all the parts of the country. He was a true Indian engineer. So I pay my tributes to him, to such a towering engineer India has given to our country. As rightly said, and so firstly, I also congratulate the team who are celebrating Dr. Kishore Rawande and his whole team. They are celebrating all the programs like Engineers' Day with a great enthusiasm. We have organized blood donation camp, and number of activities are conducted on this occasion. I also congratulate Professor Boher for organizing this workshop on the intellectual property rights. It's very important, as you rightly said in your speech, even though internet was invented by one of the Indian boy, but he could not get the recognition and the money or the, you can say, prosperity out of his invention, because he lacked in that aspect of registering his invention. So intellectual property rights is a very important topic, which is on which today we have organized the workshop. So I welcome all the participants for this workshop. As rightly said by, I was talking to Dr. Mashelkar, and USA was also registering some patent in turmeric also, and he fought that patent fight at an international level, and India won in that fight. So we are not paying any royalty on the turmeric what we use in our day-to-day food. So we have to be very alert, because in a globalization, every country is taking the advantage of natural products also. They may patent it. So we have to be alert as the policy makers. We have to be alert. So on this occasion, intellectual property right is a very right topic. I will not. He has what nowadays we talk about innovation. Innovation led to the patenting. Innovation everywhere. Now it is a buzzword throughout the country. Our Modi ji is also talking about the innovation, and he has started more than 3,000 Atal tinkering labs in the schools, 100 Atal incubation centers throughout the country, and again Atal community centers, maybe 500 Atal community centers, Atal community colleges, I can say, innovation colleges. So, innovation is a buzzword. Innovation is our national agenda. Modi ji has started that agenda, and I'm very sure through all these, setups right from the school to the university level, private incubation centers also have come up. So in coming years, the government is really seriously working it, promoting it. So the whole ecosystem is getting created in our country at par with the American universities. Now it is not limited only to IITs, Dr. Gokhale Saab. So in coming 5 years, there will be number of innovators, maybe from very small universities and colleges, and they can really produce, they can really solve the challenges of the society, the today's challenges. We have a number of challenges, and with that home, and now every Indian youth is he is aspiring to become entrepreneur. He is aspiring to become, some scientist, as rightly said by Kiran Kumar when he was here. Pune has given maximum inventions in the Chandrayaan and in the Mangalyaan also. So the talent is enough. Indian talent is magnificent, but we have to just nurture that talent. We have to give that holding hand to that talent so that they can come out with the talent. We have to trust in their ideas so that their talent can come out. It can come to the product level. As on today, we were just focusing on the project-based learning. We have to really shift to the product-based learning. And if we shift to the product-based learning, I think all the patents, which are sleeping patents throughout the country, will be converted to the products. And that is the need of our economy. Our country cannot give so many jobs. Only make in India. We don't want to make India as the only labor-oriented country or a knowledge worker, giving knowledge workers to the globe. We really wanted to become, the economy-driven country or economy-generating country. Every engineer has to invent some invention, and because of that, I think our economy will be stronger economy. Major portion of our economy comes from the service sector, because we are serving for the foreign companies. Unless we invent our patents, unless we invent some new technologies, I think our economy, our GDP will not go up. So this is a real big challenge for our country. Engineers, you are the drivers of the economy. You are the leaders. You are the tomorrow's leaders. You are tomorrow's politicians. And one of engineers, as Dr. Gokhale ji has said, one of you have to become the Prime Minister of the country. We have to show engineers also can become the good prime ministers of the country. So, and as engineers, we have to be more versatile, because nowadays I find number of students who are coming to engineering colleges have reduced in a large number. People are not joining engineering professions, so it is for the faculty and the universities like us to really do the introspection of us, what is lagging, why people are, not coming to engineering faculty on a large scale. Now this year only 60,000 people have joined in Maharashtra. Similar is the situation throughout the country. Why people are not joining the engineering faculties to be really seen? Either because of globalization, the test of life, or the definition of the quality of life has changed, or something has changed. So people do not want to come to engineering. This aspect has to be changed, because engineers are going to solve the problems of this whole world, globe, everything. So on this occasion, I will not talk much about that, and with this small aspect, I will not take much of time. Dr. Gokhale Sahab, thank you for. We have also started here aerospace engineering, we have marine engineering, we have all sort of engineering. MIT is known for engineering education because it took from Maharashtra Institute of Technology. So MIT means engineering. So we are, major portion is for engineering education, but now we are also diverging in other sort of education. So MIT art, design and technology, here we are blending other education with the technology education, and with that motive to make our engineers more holistic engineers, our citizens more holistically developed graduates. So with that hope, MIT ADT University is working, MIT Group is working. So sir, thank you once again, and you are guiding our aerospace engineering department. It was our long desire to establish aerospace engineering, because our marine engineering college is working here for last 20 years. It is one of the fine college. It was one of the best colleges in the country. So on the similar lines, you have taken the mentorship of the aerospace engineering department. So thank you for that. And once again, I wish all of you Happy Engineers Day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much. We have amongst us Ms. Divya Srivasanam. She is an IPR advocate and works as a legal and policy consultant in CIPAM. May I request ma'am to propose the vote of thanks?
Thank you. An ignited mind is the most powerful weapon on the earth, above, below, and beyond. All of it possible only through the harness titled education. A very good afternoon to everybody present here on the dais, all the dignitaries on and off the dais. On behalf of the Cell for IPR Promotion and Management, CPAM, Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, Government of India, I, Divya Srinivasan, deem it a great honor and privilege to stand before all of you to deliver the vote of thanks. At the outset, I would like to thank our guest of honor, Dr. Sadanand Gokhale. Sir, thank you for giving us the opportunity to not only listen to you, but also take home your pearls of wisdom. I would also like to thank Professor Dr. Vishwanath Karad, founder and president, MIT ADT University, Professor Dr. Mangesh Karad, Executive President, MIT ADT University, and Dr. Sunil Rai, Vice Chancellor, MIT ADT University. Please accept our deepest appreciation for your presence and support here today. It indeed further elevates the importance of this event. I would also like to thank Professor Sunita Karad, Director, ICT and MITCOM, Professor Dr. Kishore Ravande, Dean, Research and Consultancy Cell, MIT ADT University, and Mr. Shiv Sharan Madi, Registrar, MIT ADT University. Please accept our sincere gratitude for your unwavering support and encouragement. Gratitude also goes out to Dr. Mohit Dubey, CEO, Atal Incubation Center, Niti Aayog. Sir, your presence boosts the morale of our collective audience. It is indeed heartening that this workshop has received an enthusiastic response from the industry as well as the academic fields alike. Words are not sufficient to thank the faculty and students of MIT ADT University for spending their valuable time towards IPR awareness. Ladies and gentlemen, on that note, I thank all participants for their participation in this national workshop on IPRs. I wish you all a fruitful participation and lasting success. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Before we rise in your seats for the national anthem, there are some announcements. We'll have a group photo outside, and the next sessions will begin at 2 o'clock sharp. So may I now please request all of you to rise in your seats for the national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मागे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
Thank you. Thank you very much.